decisions that we're making are going to really impact these people's lives, not just from a quality of life standpoint, but really from life and death. The things that we're doing or the things that we're not doing, those are things that are going to potentially affect someone's ability to continue living or potentially pass away. And that's really become a stark reality for me.
The community definitely affects the nursing home in many different ways. For example, if our COVID percentage rate is over 10%, we do have to test twice a week. We have to wear the N95 mask. The residents have to wear masks. They have to social distance, and they have to have outside visits, and so much more.
So at the end of the day, all the restrictions that nursing homes like Christian Kaehr are experiencing and the increased regulation that we're experiencing, it has almost nothing to do with the actual results of what's happening inside the building. It mostly has to do with the different metrics that are being assessed by the state, by the federal government, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, groups like that are really our regulation oversight. They're telling us that as long as the communities in which we operate have certain metrics that are above these different thresholds, that's what's going to dictate how much we can reopen and how much we can allow residents to be with their loved ones and what kind of visits we can do and things like that, and when we can begin doing dining again and parties and things. So everything that's happening out in our community is actually the greatest driving force behind how much we can reopen. So that's why we really want to help people understand that the more they can do out in the community to keep people safe, then the better off our residents, our staff, and our family members are going to be.
We've now been able to get back to some enclosed outdoor visits in a heated area, but for a lengthy period of time, the residents have been in isolation, and that's been very difficult. We've used a variety of ways, Zoom, FaceTime, taking pictures to keep the communication open with family members, and we're blessed to have the technology. But at the same time, it really is hard because it doesn't replace the physical and face-to-face contact with their family members that they long for.
We kind of just did the parking lot, come by and wave and talk through at the parking lot.
Them being restricted to their rooms more and staring at four walls and only coming out to eat a meal 6 feet away from others, where they're used to just sitting beside each other and talking and laughing and joking, and it's more difficult for them, and it's more difficult for the staff to be able to go in and talk to them because you have to wear a mask and you have to stay 6 feet apart.
They don't understand what's going on, and it's very hard to try to make them understand, or to get them to understand why we do what we do and why they have to wear the mask and why they can't sit so close to each other.
One of the things working here during the COVID outbreak that has been difficult also with losing the number of residents that we have, and then having to call loved ones in to say their goodbye, and as they arrive, screening them in and sharing in that emotion with them, because it really pulls at your heart knowing that they were not able to see their loved one for months on end, and then here they are coming in to say their goodbye.
So if I could speak from my heart and you would genuinely listen to what I'm feeling and thinking, there's so much we don't know about it, but so much we do know about viruses. They're easily contagious, and what we can do, the few things we can do, we must do.
We are thankful back in January that we were able to get over 80% of our residents vaccinated with the stage 1 portion of the vaccine. We have a smaller number of staff who are slowly getting vaccinated. Several of them have gone outside to other organizations like hospitals to be able to get that process started, and many of them have already gotten the second step.
The geriatric population have worked really hard over the years, and more than anyone, they deserve the right to spend their last years with the ones that they love most, being their families.
If it can help give those residents one more time with their family that's not restricted, how awesome would that be?
It's been heart-wrenching in this community how many families have had to grieve their loved one's death without them by their side even. We don't want that to happen again, ever.